generally support turns into resistance, in markets, right? And we have major support sitting here at 6,400, 6,000. So if we break below this level and we try to retest up, it's going to act as resistance, and it's going to, most likely Bitcoin will not be trending up for a long time. So the bulls desperately need to hold above 6,400. We need to hold above that previous major market structure here from 2018 if Bitcoin is going to remain bullish and, repeat this halving cycle in the way that it always has. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Svenson, and today we're going to be talking about the price of Bitcoin. Now, you'll notice that the background here is a little bit different. I'm working on changing my setup. I don't have everything set up. I'm going to increase the quality of the content going into the new year here. But this is what I have for right now. A lot of people have been getting pretty excited about the price pump that we saw recently, and they've been talking about how the assassination of the Iranian general was the reason that Bitcoin's price went up. I personally completely disagree with this. Usually US foreign policy doesn't have too much of an effect on the price of Bitcoin. If this recent price pump was somehow due to US foreign policy, then I would expect that all other major events in foreign countries will affect the price of Bitcoin. Now, obviously this is not going to happen, and there was just a coincidence that the price went up at the time of that event. But anyway, let's just hop into the charts here and discuss what's been happening recently. So overall, Bitcoin is still stuck in this downward sloping price channel. Bitcoin recently got a bounce directly off of the heart line of the price channel. Now, if you guys are looking at this price channel, we've seen Bitcoin, get rejection off of this heart line, and also used it as support here a few times as well. But we've seen rejection along this heart line, and we actually just used it as support here. So what happened recently was Bitcoin tested above the heart line, used it as support, found some resistance, came back to retest the heart line, and got a direct bounce off that level. And we had a nice daily candle close up here at resistance. We had the daily candle open just along the heart line, and then we had a nice bounce to the upside, and we created another lower high. Recently, we've just seen this heart line being used as support a few times, and we just had our third touch off the heart line and a bounce, right? A routine, we've had one bounce off here, two bounce off here, three bounce off here, and we've also had rejection along this area 3 times as well. We're just ping-ponging within this region. I don't think that this $500 move to the upside had anything to do with US foreign policy. It looks like we are actually just sticking within our range right here. So not too much has changed. The one thing that is going for the bulls right now is we have made bullish progress above the heart line, and we are now using the heart line as support. So we've created a new support zone above the heart line of the overall price channel, which is bullish progress. If we can remain above the heart line here and just trend, out of this price channel, this would actually be extremely good news for the bulls. If we just trend sideways out of this price channel, I would actually think that Bitcoin is getting ready for the next major leg up. Since mid-November, Bitcoin has only really just been trading sideways here, and there's not really all too much to say about the price until we exit this price channel. Now, there's a couple ways we can exit the price channel. Of course, we can just bounce out of here and use that resistance as support and make some progressive moves to the upside. Or we can also trend out of the price channel just with time, just sideways action, and trade out of the price channel. This would actually be very good for Bitcoin. This would be a really good sign for Bitcoin that we're holding this level and we're trading sideways and the price action is getting really boring. This would actually be a really good sign. If you look at all other previous halving cycles, every time we have a halving cycle, we see one parabolic advance, two parabolic advances, and then the third step is a break of that price channel, right? And the break of the all-time high. In the next halving cycle here, 2016, we had one parabolic advance, two parabolic advances, and then the third one was a break of the all-time high and a break out of that price channel. And if we're just looking at Bitcoin right now, coming out of the bear market low, moving into the halving cycle, right now we're looking at one parabolic advance. We've had one parabolic advance out of this price channel, right? We've completed step one. Now, on all of these halving cycles, guys, on all of these parabolic advances, we get that 3 to 4 months of sideways action, 3 to 4 months of sideways action, and even here as well. After that first parabolic advance, 3 to 4 months of sideways action, 3 to 4 months of sideways action, after the second one. And right now, Bitcoin has just come off of this sell-off here. And if we kind of just trade sideways and, have a slight uptrend for 3 months or something, I mean, this would be a really good sign. Just, straight sideways action would be a great sign for Bitcoin before the next parabolic advance. And then step 3 would, of course, just be breaking out of this trend here. So, in my opinion, getting sideways action here, not only would that just be good sign for Bitcoin, this would be standard action for Bitcoin after a first major parabolic advance, just getting sideways action, right? Sort of just replicating all other halving cycles. I mean, Bitcoin's price action is generally systematic. We have, Bitcoin is inflationary, but the inflation is deflationary. Right? We have less inflation over time. So this would overall just be a standard routine thing for Bitcoin to do at this point in time. If we can't maintain this area and we just dump lower, I mean, if we dump below 6,400, as I've explained in a few of my previous videos, dumping below 6,400 would be a really, really bad sign for Bitcoin, because that would be a break of previous market structure. And this would be extremely bad news for Bitcoin. We'd be looking at one of the worst performing halvings of all time if we can't hold above 6,400. Generally support turns into resistance, in markets, right? And we have major support sitting here at 6,400, 6,000. So if we break below this level and we try to retest up, it's going to act as resistance, and it's going to, most likely Bitcoin will not be trending up for a long time. So the bulls desperately need to hold above 6,400. We need to hold above that previous major market structure here from 2018. If Bitcoin is going to remain bullish and, repeat this halving cycle in the way that it always has. In my opinion, if we break below 6,400, I would get very bearish on the price of Bitcoin, and I would be looking for a 1 to 2 year long consolidation within this range. If Bitcoin does break below 6,400, I'd be looking for a long-term stability for Bitcoin at that point. But we haven't done that just yet. So there is still hope for the bulls. If the price action gets really boring here and we kind of just trade sideways, I would see this as a really good sign. I would see this as a great thing for Bitcoin. We're becoming stable. We're holding support above 6,400. The price action is getting a little boring, and that generally is a good sign for Bitcoin. And that would mean that we're most likely looking for the next major parabolic advance. If we can get that, sideways action and that slight uptrend here going into the halving, this would be really good for Bitcoin overall. And the price levels that I'm looking at it's pretty clear. Below 6,400 is very, very bearish. And just getting above this resistance line of the price channel is would be very bullish for Bitcoin. And getting above 8,000 more specifically is extremely bullish. Once we break above 8,000 and use it as support again, I would become extremely bullish on Bitcoin once again. And once we break above 10,000, 10,500, this would be an overall macro higher high, and I would become uber bullish on Bitcoin if we get above that level. And that's just how I'm seeing the charts right now. But before you guys leave, definitely hit that like button on the way out, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to sign up with the CryptoWatch platform. The CryptoWatch platform is the platform that I use in all of my videos, and it is the platform that I use for charting and trading. Links are below, guys, and I will see you all in the next video.